All right. Hell of a fucking transition, Phil. Thursday, June 25th, draft day in the NBA. Let's start with a couple of NBA trades and some different things, obviously. I think the NBA is kind of dominating the headlines right now, obviously. So, right off the hinge of the finals and then draft day, which is...
It's nonstop. The NBA is truly nonstop.
So the NFL, we say, pretty much goes year-round. Has the NBA hit that model
try
yet?
to at least adapt to it.
So their season starts Halloween, let's say.
Yeah.
So they go, if you're working the calendar that way, obviously they go all the way in season until June 15th, let's say. Yeah. Then they still have the draft. Uh-huh. July is free agency right? And summer league. So it's like August and September kind of the only 2 months.
The one thing the NBA doesn't have, the NFL, like no one gives a fuck about NBA training camp. Like preseason, that stuff. Like NFL, just there's way more eyeballs, I feel like, on the NFL
right, but
side of that.
Still,
but the NBA has saying, 9 months of entertainment.
Right, being relevant in the months. They check off that box in October because that's when the season starts most of the time.
Yeah, it's exhausting. The fact that we already have a draft is nuts.
It's good, yeah. It's definitely good, but it is nuts for sure.
I don't like. I know the Pacers made that trade last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever, and while they were still in it, you almost have to forget. Like as an organization, like we had a draft to prepare for in a week. Like there's people who probably weren't fixated on the playoffs at all. They're like, hey, dude, scout players. Like,
oh yeah, they weren't.
Don't worry about what we're doing. We have these people. You need to worry about this draft.
Yeah, I would imagine they weren't at games.
Right.
Yeah, they were just on the road.
Right.
For sure. So there was one trade that kind of went under the radar. Phil had a very funny text in the group. Typical slop for slop in the NBA, which you get all the time. CJ McCollum, who I like at Lehigh, obviously moved around again for just not basically rearranging the deck chairs on the
Titanic. They beat Duke. That Lehigh team beat Duke. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that. No, just a trade for a trade. Just a simple trade. Jordan Poole now in New Orleans, and New Orleans gets more incompetent. I don't know what Zion's future is there.
He's got to get moved. I saw McCollum in person. I saw McCollum in person at Lehigh.
Really?
Yeah,
McCollum, I always remember
the year before.
McCollum came through HQ2, and I was always fast. He didn't come through with any agent.
No, he married a girl from Lehigh, and then I was at Lehigh's graduation, and he was at the same hotel or the same brunch as us. And then when he's walking up, we were driving the car and just wait, just nice.
He just rolled through
regular guy. Yeah, I was hoping he'd be more of a, impact type player. He's definitely one of those guys I rooted for.
He was. I mean, when him and Dame were paired together in Portland,
they were good, but they weren't.
And
good
they had
for long.
Competitive teams. It was always a fun team to watch.
Yeah,
New Orleans, it's never worked out.
They weren't good for long. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with
Washington. I mean, Washington's they're more competent, I think, than New Orleans. New Orleans is. I don't think no one has a plan in New Orleans. No one knows what they're doing.
No, New Orleans is never gonna win.
But Washington, there's some young guys at least. There's a few guys there. It's not great, but
yeah, Washington's a fucking dead end franchise.
We'll see who they draft.
But the big trade, 3-teamer, and again, to Phil's point, some of these teams just exist to help others, like the fucking Atlanta.
They're like
Hawks.
Shell companies almost.
Yeah, the Atlanta Hawks go get KP, Kristaps Porzingis.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't, he's fucking good. He's definitely fucking good. He just can't be on the.
He's sick. He has an illness.
I know. He just can't be on the court at all the time. You don't know what you're getting. And now it's his fourth team. I always worry about a guy when you're getting him on his fourth stop.
Well,
do you really think
Knicks, Mavs, Wizards?
Oh,
Celtics,
Wizards. Fifth. I forgot about the Wizards.
Even worse.
Yeah, fifth stop. I worry about a guy on a fifth stop making an impact like that, massively. So we'll see. But the Nets get Atlanta's pick this year,
22,
which is 22. They now have 5 first-round picks.
What did they give up? Second-round pick?
They gave up
probably a second.
If you look at the trade, it's wait, none of these guys are on the Nets, and they're not giving up picks, first-round picks.
Yeah, they gave up a second pick. Yeah,
absorb the contract.
Pick. And then Georges Niang goes back home to Boston. He's a Massachusetts guy.
Okay.
So I've always liked.
He's a bench, end of the bench type guy at this point. I feel like for Boston.
The Nets have
end of the bench.
Yeah. I don't think he's.
I don't know about end of the bench. I think he's still probably.
Yeah, he's not good.
He's not that
You
good.
don't think he's that good? I think he's still.
Boston's a deep
He's gonna
team.
get some minutes. He's not gonna be an end of the bench guy.
I mean,
He's gonna be the 11th guy.
He's not getting much minutes.
Brooklyn now
What did he
has.
do last year?
I don't.
He wasn't good. He was on the Cavs and I think he was in the DeAndre Hunter trade.
Yeah, I
and
know.
then
He's
did
been moved
nothing.
around a lot.
But Brooklyn now has 8, 19,
I mean, he averaged 12 for
22,
Atlanta,
26,
but Atlanta
27.
was really.
Yeah, Atlanta was
So,
really
like
bad.
before
All
that,
right.
he's averaging less than 10. I don't know. Sorry, what Phil?
Brooklyn's picks 8, 19, 22, 26, 27.
So they're not making 5 picks. Like
They're
they're
trying to move up.
in my mind, the epiphany that I had walking to work today is they're going to trade up to take Knuppel in the top 5 because I don't think Khan's going to get to them, and they want Khan, and that is just where
He's
my
going at 4 in this mock. We'll get to that.
Exactly. So like I think the Nets don't let him slip, and they use some of these picks to get up to the top 5 to take him. No, he's not going to slip. The Nets don't let him get taken.
Knipple reminds me of, I know this is probably not the best comparison because if you look at the guy's career, you could be like, oh, it was a very meh career. But having watched Duke forever, he reminds me a lot of Dunleavy in the sense that he knows how to fucking play. Like he's just Dunleavy was a smart player on those Duke teams. Knuppel is way more talented.
Is there any other reason he reminds you of Dunleavy?
No, no, Phil.
Color of the skin, maybe?
No, Phil. No, it doesn't.
No.
He's a smart fucking player.
Dude, he's got some size to him, more size than I thought. He's like 6'7".
People forget Dunleavy was a beast in college, too,
Yeah.
though. He also grew. I watched him at the Jimmy V that year, and then by the end of the year, he grew like 6 inches in college, which is unheard of. his
Yeah, I
freshman
mean,
year.
also Dunleavy.
At least 4 inches.
Dunleavy, it's not like he had a long career.
Very long career.
So,
yeah.
like, it's not like he's not
But just knows,
wasn't a star, but like
knows how to play. So Knuppel, I mean,
I
you
don't-
probably want more.
honestly, if that's
the
his
fourth pick?
his floor, that's a really good.
That's
floor.
what I think the floor is.
Yeah.
I really do. I think
but like
that's what the floor is.
he can defend. He's a knockdown. He can drive when he wants. He's an amazing free throw shooter, like 90-something% in college, and he's got some size. Like he's just like he checks a lot of boxes for someone you can want to draft. So I think the Nets trade up for him with these picks. I don't think the Nets are making moves tonight.
Yeah, it's good that the Nets have 5, like if you're looking at but they have a lot of, 22, 26, and 27.
So you package 3 of them to move up. I don't know.
No,
Like,
right, but just granted, they're probably trying to make that trade. But right now,
Yeah.
it's one of those things like, I don't know, I go to your house and you're like, I got a great car collection. And like we open the garage and it's like, I don't know, 2016 like Dodge Ram pickup
Yeah,
truck.
I
Like,
see- I
it's
know
like,
what you're
okay, that's really nice. But I thought when you said car, like I was
Yeah.
waiting for a vintage Cadillac,
Yeah.
that.
You're waiting for the
Like, so
Corvette.
you tell the Nets are like, we got five first-round picks. It's like, all right, what are they? Well, 22, 26, and 27 are 60% of them. I don't necessarily love that.
Now,
You know what I mean?
You throw 2 of those together with 8, and you can get high, and that you can move up.
Also, Brooklyn has 2 NBA players in their roster. I think it also just take 5 rookies without even blinking.
They
Yeah,
could,
what is
but I
their
don't.
what is their roster right now? Who the fuck plays for the Nets?
Cam? Dan, I always
Cam Thomas,
Cam Thomas,
LSU,
Nick Claxton.
LSU
Those are
kid?
two NBA
Claxton. Who else is on it?
Bad roster. In a spot that's never, the Nets tried. The Nets had their blips in 02, obviously in 03 when they did make the finals with Kidd. That was just the right time.
This
right
is
place.
the Nets roster.
Deion
That'll
Johnson,
never really happen
Jalen
again.
Wilson.
Did they pick up Terrence Mann?
Christ.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Noah Clowney's a player, Alabama.
Maybe they will draft 5 guys.
Drew Timmy's on a roster, huh?
Yeah, he was getting double doubles for them in March.
Good for him.
He came on at the very end of the season.
Good
He's
for him.
part of the reason why they're picking 8th and not higher.
Yeah.
He won a couple of games
Yeah.
down the stretch.
He put some good empty stat games.
Yeah. So yeah, the Nets don't necessarily have a massive setup right now.
No.
It's not fantastic.
But it's a good place to be with the picks, and they've got money to spend. Like they're in a this is a big night in the Nets franchise history tonight.
Agreed. You have to nail 8 and 19.
Yeah.
And the way this mock, we'll get to the full thing. There are some other stories to cover. But if you tell me at 8 and 19, I was going to get Trey Johnson and Asa Newell, I like that a lot.
People are all over Trey Johnson. Like most NBA ready type.
I think Newell's really,
player.
really good too. Came from Montverde with Boyle and
Who is that?
the kid from Georgia.
Okay.
He was Cooper Flagg's teammate. So they got 4 guys going in the is it 4 in the first round? Yeah, hold on. Flagg, Queen,
Georgia best.
Flagg, Queen, Nua, and McNeely.
Okay.
Are the 4 that are going to go first round, which is crazy from the same high school team. Fucking insane. So, yeah, Newell can fucking play. And Trey Johnson, obviously, everybody loves. So, if you got to nail 8 and 19, or you got to move 19 to nail 8 and 13, or whatever way you move up that. You got to nail the first 2.
Yep.
And then with the other 3, figure out what kind of assets you can get. And then you put him with Cam Thomas. You have a decent core, so to speak, and start somewhere. Because the Nets, I mean, they're fucking irrelevant as it is. But, like, just start. Start somewhere and then figure it out. So, yeah, Celtics do that. Celtics also with some weird – not weird rumors. It's kind of been the elephant in the room for a while. But Jaylen Brown's going to get moved now. Like, this is a team that we looked at.
Get moved. They're getting very strong offers for him, and they don't want to move him. They're asking a team to basically overpay for him.
Right. By saying they don't want to move him, they're getting really good offers.
Yeah.
When's his contract expire? He signed long term, right?
Yeah.
He has like one of the highest
signed a
paid contracts in
massive
the league.
contract. Side note. Fuck these teams for just helping the Celtics out.
Several more years he signed for.
Fuck the Hawks, fuck the Nets, fuck the Blazers for just bailing the Celtics out. The Celtics were screwed a week ago. Now they're completely fine.
Yeah,
they're fine for the future.
Everyone knew. It's like, they had to move Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis.
2 really hard players to move with their contracts. They moved them easily.
They didn't have to attach anything. They got second-round picks
Nothing.
back.
I've said this too, right? If you're the Hawks, like I don't know the fucking GM if he walked in. I'm not even gonna pretend like I know.
It used to be Landry Fields.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't even know the fucking Hawks GM, but the guy, that guy probably has confidence in the fact that he can do the job, but it's one of those. You got to know there's guys smarter than you out there.
Yeah.
So I've said it a million times. If the Spurs, the Braves, who else does things right?
The Rays.
The Rays, yeah.
Contact you to trade away a guy. That means that guy sucks.
The Cardinals for a long time in baseball, it felt like.
Dodgers.
Pittsburgh Steelers,
Yeah.
just teams, they're always in the mix. Like, they've never bottomed out. I know that the Spurs obviously have the 2 pick and they have the 1 pick, whatever, but you could say that's bottoming out. But the Spurs have been great for a long period of time. Just do the right thing.
They wanted to do that.
Yeah, if they call you, you got to have doubt.
Yeah.
In the sense that, like, oh, shit, Hubbs is calling, or Brad Stevens is calling, like, he's smarter. I can't make this trade. Like, there's also certain teams, I just wouldn't trade with because – no matter what, I think it's just going to get spun that they win. Like
I mean, teams don't like to give the Yankees players because, they don't want to be the team that handed the Yankees a World Series.
Yeah, right. And I just don't know why they do it. There's got to be somebody else out there to figure out the trade.
I
or
still don't
take less. Like, go to the Texas Rangers and be like, listen, this is what we got from the Yankees, straight up, no bullshit. Like, get close because we don't. And I guess they would get nailed for collusion or whatever. And you can't have those open conversations. But if I'm a GM, like Brad Stevens calls, like, dude, he's smarter than me. I'm not making that trade. Right.
The
you look like an
one
idiot.
isn't that bad though. Because at the same time, it's expiring. If you're the Hawks, they got rid of Terrence Mann's contract. He makes like $15 million a year, and they just don't want anything to do with that. But you do get an expiring out of it. Atlanta, you see the pathway. The Drew Holiday one, I'm still not over. Like,
the Drew Holiday one, I know
sense.
you guys talked about yesterday at length. I don't care how you explain it to me. I think it's an asinine, and then you get in the fact that Drew Holiday just doesn't want to go there now.
Yeah,
like the spin zone from the Portland side was, he's going to be a leader for them. They were 23-18 to end the year. They were playing good defense. He's going to help them. He doesn't want to fucking play for you guys. So now what? He's going to lead you while not wanting to be there. It's a great start for a leader. Like, what are you doing? There was other ways to. I totally get the. I don't want to repeat what you guys said, but getting off Anthony Simons, you're not going to extend him. You didn't, he wasn't a fit for you defensively. I get that. Doesn't mean you have to take on the worst contract in the sport.
Yeah, like I said, he's like one of the 5 worst contracts.
Also, hilarious optics. They gave Boston second-round picks in the trade. Meaningless, but also, like, how? They giving up the second-round picks. Whatever.
We also have some breaking news from Shams, Liam could show.
We're going to get a lot of shit today, I feel like. 2 years, 50. It feels cheap.
That's crazy.
Basically, they turned down that $44 million option, which insane. Fred VanVleet never had a $44 million team option.
So he gets an extra 6 to stay an extra
over
year?
2 years,
okay. Dude, that's a guy also, he definitely just loves being there and sees the chance they have at Durant and wants to win.
And no state taxes.
Right.
Right. But I'm sure, there's some sort of.
He's got a ring in Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he's not necessarily ring chasing, but loves the situation, doesn't want to go anywhere else. I get that. I respect that from Van Vliet.
Which Wichita State team was he on?
He was with Ron Baker and I think Clanton Early.
So he was the one.
Clanton Early, a guy when the Knicks took, I was like, yes.
I was so happy.
Let's fucking go.
loved him.
Second round pick or something. Thought that guy was a 0.
Yeah, it sucked. And
we got Ron Baker.
We got Ron
too.
Baker. But that Wichita State team was the 1 seed that got robbed by Kentucky, right?
Sure.
Yes.
They were really good.
Really, really good. Yeah. So, winner in college, winner in the NBA. Just a guy like
Bombs,
you root for.
threes,
It seems like there's a lot of guys who just kind of look out for themselves. Like Van Vliet is a throwback. That's a guy I'd root for. So
Did you see the Draymond Green clip?
No.
From yesterday, I think it was. I'm really hoping I nailed the 2 players. It's definitely Draymond. I think it's Van Vliet. But he was talking about when they played in the playoffs. He said he's boys with Van Vliet. He's like, I don't talk shit to people who I'm not boys with, which I think is just a lie. I think Draymond Green talks shit to like everybody.
Yeah.
Or like maybe he was implying like he lets it loose with players who like he's boys with because like he knows like at the end of the day they're still boys. And he said something to Van Vliet, and he knew the moment it came out of his mouth. He goes, I really regretted saying that. And then they like hung out at like a party or a bar the other day, and Draymond's saying hi to everybody, and then immediately Van Vliet's like, we got to talk. And he sits down, and Draymond apologized, whatever, but like it was so bad, whatever it was, that Van Vliet was taken back. It's just, I just love the whole Draymond talking shit stuff always fascinates me.
Yeah.
When it bothers people.
I do think Curry's afraid to get rid of him because he's such a psychopath.
Well, also, if you think,
Really do, like-
I'm happy the alien isn't here right now, but Draymond like is a big reason for Curry's success, like throughout his career.
Yeah, but there's a lot.
You
of
need
baggage,
a
and he
Draymond.
Threw away that fucking series.
He did. But he's also a key cog in the reason they have
100%.
all those rings.
100%.
And if you like,
It's like an uncle.
Curry operates differently when Draymond isn't on the floor. Like Draymond looks for him. Those guys are in sync. The chemistry is like I almost think Draymond is going to be the guy who introduces him for his Hall of Fame speech.
Maybe.
I think they're that tight.
Yeah.
Could be Clay still, but I don't know. It might
Might be McKillop too. McKillop took such a chance on him, and they had
I think
such
no,
success.
I get
McKillop would be
I
in that
understand
conversation.
Davidson. Yeah, no one wanted to offer him. I get that, but Draymond's been in this entire.
Yes, he has been. Yeah. It could be
Bad.
Draymond.
What, should we talk Ace Bailey?
We could talk.
he
Ace
just
Bailey.
canceled out 2 more teams.
Definitely.
The Hornets and who? Who else?
I'll pull it up.
Hornets and some
Hornets.
Jazz.
He wants to go to the Wizards pretty much.
Why?
Bizarre.
Or is he just waiting for like a really good team to maybe trade it? But I don't know why they would do that.
They don't want him to be drafted by the Hornets or the Jazz.
I get not wanting to be drafted by those teams. Like I wouldn't want to go there, but like
Ace Bailey's also fallen. He was supposed to be like 3 locked. He was locked in.
he doesn't want to go to Philly. If he wanted to go to Philly, I think he would have went 3. Right?
Yeah. And now Philly, we're probably going to take Edgecombe.
Right.
The
Which is going to be good for them. That's a really good pick for them.
I just want to go back to the whole like Jaylen Brown stuff. So we know Utah's trying to get Utah's trying to make a push. They're trying to make an aggressive offer for Jaylen Brown. I wonder if they're trying to take on, say, like Paul George's contract, move up from 5 to 3. If they like a guy at 3, they really want
Utah,
and basically bail the Sixers out of that Paul George contract.
no way. Who could? Like, you can't take that.
Is there any play? Like, is the jump from 5 to 3 like that massive?
I mean, significantly, if you think if they want Edgecombe and he's going 3, then yes, because after that,
Or maybe they think Paul George isn't as washed as he is.
I don't know.
I think they're trying to be like aggressive. Like, if there's rumors of them getting Jaylen Brown, there's other superstars on like on contracts like that are bloated that they're trying to get.
Yeah.
If you were Philly though, and you knew that fucking Bailey didn't want to play for you, and you knew that the Wizards did want him, wouldn't you take him? Or do you see, like, I've always wondered about that. Like, all right, you don't want to play for me. I know somebody else wants you. Take him. And then you're holding that asset, and then you got to move it. Or you could be
But that other,
you could be up Schitt's Creek in the sense that he don't want to play for you.
you could also find
and now
yourself in a really bad spot.
You're really fucked, yeah.
You have a guy that you necessarily didn't even want. He doesn't want you, and teams know that. So then your leverage is gone with what you're going to get back.
I just don't understand. Like, all right, let's say Philly does love him, though. What's he gonna do? Not fucking legitimately not play?
I don't know.
And not make this life
It's not a bluff.
money?
It's
He's
not a
just
bluff
not
you
gonna
want to
fucking
call.
play?
When you have guys like Edge come out there, I don't think that's a bluff you want to deal with.
That's so crazy. Like, 58 guys or 60 guys are gonna have their dreams come true tonight and tomorrow, and they're the ones dictating. There's only 30 teams in the NBA. Yeah. Like, there's and there's times 12, however many of spots there is to play in the highest level of basketball. Like, the team is letting the player dictate that. I don't understand it. Now, when Carmelo was like, "Get me out of Denver," or like a guy is or Giannis is like, "I got to get out of Milwaukee," and they hold the clout because they've already been there. Like, he's a pro. This kid hasn't played a day in the NBA. Don't get me wrong.
It's Eli Manning.
Yeah, it's just bizarre to me that these guys control that
Players
the teams
League,
take the heat from it.
Players League.
Kyrie 3-year deal with the Mavs. Seems like a no-brainer, obviously, for him. He's out now for what? All of next year, Phil?
I would be
pretty much all next year.
All of next year, so he's really getting.
Wait, what is his injury?
ACL.
Okay, so he could come back.
He tore it in March. Like,
He could come back for the playoffs.
he could. Also, are they a playoff team?
What?
Are they a playoff team
I
without
think
him?
they are. I think if Davis is healthy and they have Flag and they got some pieces around there too. Like,
It is the West though.
I think they're a play-in team. I think they're a play-in team, 8 seed, something around there. If it's a big if though if Davis stays healthy, but I think they can be. I was kind of mapping it out yesterday because I had a buddy who was trying to tell me that Portland's a playoff team next year, and I was going through the West, and obviously things can change, but you assume the Kings and the Grizzlies are going to drop off the planet.
Yes.
So then that opens up.
What a fucking quick window for those Kings. They look like they were building something.
Warriors shut that shit down real quick.
I know. I like Murray, obviously. They had Fox.
The problem is Sabonis just is like an empty stat guy in my mind and not a winning player. Like
same thing with Levine and DeRozan.
Well, yeah. Now you're getting that state. I'm saying the original that core that was the 2 seed didn't have those guys. But like the problem is Sabonis just isn't that guy. There's a reason Indy wanted to get away from him. Like they were going nowhere with him fast.
Because Murray is a winning player. I would love if they moved Murray. I know it's very early.
No, that is the move I think because you can get the most value for him. You can get a ton of value for him.
Yeah.
Young, controllable. Murray's got to have years left, right?
Should, yeah, right? For sure.
So like,
he's still on a rookie deal, from my estimation. It's only been 2 years in the pros.
How long? Yeah, so he probably is
in the pros.
Keegan Murray's got one more year left, and then he goes to restricted free agency.
Okay.
So
where the Kings can give him more money than everybody else, right?
Yeah. Offer sheets and shit like that.
Yeah.
No, they should move him. But yeah, the Kings, they really the beam and all that was quick-winded.
Really, really quick.
But what I'm saying,
I think the Mavs have some life. Flag, I know he's not playing for a long period of time, but Irving and Davis is a good 3. It's pretty. And
there's like
good
some
3.
role players on the team. I'm not going to try and slurp Nico here, but like I think that if you're removing Memphis and the Kings from the conversation, 2 teams that were in the play-in last year, and I'm kind of assuming everyone else is going to make the playoffs. The Thunder, Rockets, Lakers, Nuggets, Clippers, Wolves, Warriors. Those guys are in. That gives you 3 spots, and I think the Mavs can beat out the remaining teams. So I think the Mavs are a playoff team. Yeah. Well, a play-in team at worst.
Yeah, I mean, they're a dangerous 7.
Right. So
8,
back
they're fucking around.
So Kyrie potentially is back for the playoffs, but also Kyrie's just in a happy place there. I feel like he hasn't had an episode or anything.
No.
I feel like it's the calmest he's been.
He's finally calmed down.
Now, I mean, that was with Luka for the most part, so we'll see if that remains. Yeah, I think it should. So yeah, 3 years, 130, something like that.
Yeah,
it's a big number.
The other thing, it seems like this is now gaining some legs. The NCAA is going to expand to 72 or 76 teams.
I see Reeg's always.
It's going to be It's I ignore it till it feels like it's real.
Now it seems like it's happening.
It does seem like it's real. So at 70,
this would happen immediately.
What?
This would happen next year.
25, 26 is what they're saying. From my understanding, I googled it.
All right, so map it out. How would it work?
72 teams means 8 play-in games.
Oh,
so that gives you 4 16s and 4 11s.
So every 16 would be in the play-in.
Right. And every 11.
I think we talk about it. Do you think a 16 likes being in the play-in because they get that spotlight?
I think they get some kind of share with money or something like that. It don't really count as a win. if you
But
ask
do
me.
the no, I agree.
I think there's financial benefit
the-
for it because otherwise,
Do those teams like it?
I don't know. I really don't.
I feel like with the spotlight, they would.
I mean, you get to play a game that you're not buried in, but
Yeah.
it is tough. Like, you got a game that's going to be a dogfight against another 16, and then in a day prep, you got to go play Kansas or Duke. You know what I mean? Or Houston. Like, that's, to me, you only get, the selection show comes out at 7 o'clock. It's finished at 7 o'clock Sunday. So, again, being like a basketball nerd, you got to get scouting reports of the teams you're potentially going to play. You got to get logistics. You got to get flights. There's hotels. Where are we going? Where are we practicing when we get there? Media fucking availability. The whole thing's
It's a whole process.
Whole thing's a circus. And if you're playing Thursday, it's done. That means you got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. That's it. You got 3 days.
Yeah.
So
If
now,
you're playing.
yeah, now if you're a 16, you have a day, Monday, if that, to do all of that, so to speak, play Tuesday, win that dogfight of a fucking game against a team that's right on your level, and then go play a superpower again on a day of prep. I don't think that's fair when you won your conference. So that's where I'm at. But whatever, money's money.
So that's what 72.
They want more games. 72, from my estimation, I could be wrong. If the chat's wrong, feel free to let me know. But because I pulled up, I
10
I went to a bracket website and looked at 72, and I just counted the playing games, and it was 8. It also makes sense if you're 68 right now, and there's 4 playing games.
Yeah.
If you're adding
Yeah.
4 teams, you would have 8. Wait, am I doing that right? Yeah, because we play from 68 to get to 64, so 72 would make sense. If you go to 76,
Then you're talking.
it'd be 12 playing games. Now, I don't know where that kind of falls. Would you have 4 11s and 2 12s? I kind of find that bullshit because most of the 12s are again, good mid-majors who won their conference. Who was at 12 this year? Murray State?
Not bad with that, but
No, not Murray State. McNeese State.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about putting McNeese State in a play-in when
that's bullshit.
When they buried Clemson.
Great for ratings.
Buried
That's what
Clemson.
they're
Well, I
chasing
shouldn't
money.
say that. They buried Clemson early, and then that game got into a fucking dogfight.
They didn't know how to.
They won by 2.
They were racing.
They didn't know
out
how
the
to play
clock.
with a lead, but
they were racing out, but they were up a. They were
a billion.
It was, what Clemson scored 12 points in that first
Yeah, they
half.
buried them.
Yeah.
Buried them. And then the game came back to a fucking nail biter. But, yeah, like, I don't know. I just don't. The 76 would be really bad. If you could talk me into 72, but if I was the ADs and I was these mid-major guys, I'd be like, all right, let's sign a 25-year deal that it stays at 72. Like, that's where just stop.
Yeah, because you know if you
72
don't
is
do that, then in a few years you're going to be like, let's go to 80.
72 is legitimately the max. That's it.
Yeah.
And I just think
People thought that was 68 though.
it really, really fucks up the flow in the sense that, like, again, I don't really get hyped up for the playing games. Like, they're
It's just
on.
something to gamble on. That's really what
Agreed.
it is, you know?
They're on, but, like, that's what I'm doing my prep of, like, what this team runs, looking into stats, trends, this and that. Like, I want to get dialed in for Thursday and Friday. If you start fucking in, or I don't know, even if they start playing those games, the playing games on Thursday, if they start talking about moving that first weekend to potentially Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I don't know if they're doing that, but just then that's where it starts.
Don't fuck with that.
Right. Don't
fuck with the first 4 days.
This is where it starts. If you fuck around with it, the whole thing starts rolling off, and that's a problem in my eyes. So keep it as organic. It's just it's a perfect flow. It owns 4 weekends of the year. It goes the first round, the Sweet 16. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 3 weekends. Yeah, 3 weekends. First round and the second round, Sweet 16 and the Elite 8, Final 4. It owns 3 weekends in a row. That's it. It's its own niche. Like, just fucking leave it alone. Don't mess around with it.
Don't fuck those first 4 days.
I can live with 72. I cannot live with 76.
I'm with you. Those first 4 days are so, like, priceless. Like, I cherish those. That's a holiday. The Sweet 16 and the Elite 8, great. But, like, those first 4 days are chaos. You don't do any work, like, if you're outside this company.
This year sucked, but that's a rarity.
It's a rarity.
This year was
But, like, I don't know. The chaos of it, if shit being on from 12 to midnight, basically, with the West Coast games ending, it's like nothing else. Don't touch those first 4 days. If you want to fuck around with the playing games before, fine. Get your money. Don't eat into those first 4 days and change what we have.
And in the last 10 years, they have perfected it because I've talked about this a million times. Growing up, in the Sweet 16, if you could fucking believe this, you got a regional game, and then you got look-ins. And that was it on CBS. That was it. You got that game, and then the other game, you'd watch in your game and like, this game sucks.
Yeah.
And the other game's a fucking nail-biter.
You're like begging, like, switch it, change it, come on.
Switch it.
Don't care about
you get a live look-in for a guy hitting a fucking layup or a jumper, and you're like, just put the fucking game on.
And then they changed it to four channels, and it was like, holy
They changed it to 4 channels, and they also, for the second round, Saturday and Sunday, they aired them all. Now, I don't think they do a fantastic job in the sense that Sunday is going with a 9 o'clock start and an 8 o'clock start. I do think they could move them up a little bit.
Okay.
And overlap them early, but CBS does want their 2 games.
You're right, because they do the
Saturday and Sunday. I like that you do get to watch all of them, but I would overlap them a little bit.
It doesn't start to overlap until like 5:30.
I know, and that's bad. That's where it's bad.
Even
but
a little later, like 7 maybe. That's when you get 3 games at once.
Yes.
7 o'clock, if I remember correctly. But there's the 12, 2:15.
Then it goes like I think it goes like 4, 5, then a ton of 7s, and then a late. It's
spread out for sure. The thing that I always gripe, and I think finally like Big Cat and Dave got onto it this year, was the way games get spoiled on the top screens. Like just delay the scores.
Yeah, that's been a while.
Delay scores by a minute.
Right. Also, anyone with a brain is watching all 4.
I hate the counter. Be like,
so
just watch one game, and then I'm like, no, I want to watch them all.
Right.
I want to go to a bar and just watch all the games. I don't want to be spoiled because you just tell me the score right away.
Or again, like the fact that everybody's watching them, pretty much everywhere has all 4 channels. Maybe don't do the score bug up top. Is that a crazy take?
I don't mind the score bug. I just want it. Just delay it.
Yeah, delay.
No harm in delaying it.
Delay it. That makes sense. But yeah, I can live with 8. I cannot live with.
I'm with you.
Cannot live with 76. So that's where that is. All right, first round tonight. The mock has shocker Cooper Flag going 1 to the Mavs.
Yep. Minus 50,000. I saw.
Yeah.
What if Trump just puts like the nation's economy on it? Just like get us a few bucks.
Harper to the Spurs.
He got they were showing like, everyone did their media yesterday. He was swarmed, Harper. He had so many fucking people around him. As people are just fascinated, and he's the sure thing for 2. It seems like, 1 and 2 is a lock, right?
Yeah, it is weird. So I guess that's why Bailey's dropped, but Philly doesn't love Bailey, so that's also why he's dropping, and he won't go to Utah, whatever. So maybe Bailey would go 3. But the other thing you got to look at, and I love Peichel, I love Stevie Hain and that Rutgers staff, but you look at, like, they had Harper and Bailey, and don't get me wrong, they didn't play the whole year. They were banged up in and out.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But Rutgers wasn't even sniffing the tournament.
No, that's a Peichel shouldn't have it. Peichel shouldn't.
I'm not going to say that. I like Peichel a lot.
I'll say it for you. Peichel shouldn't have a job. That's insane.
I worry more about those guys' character as winning. You're supposed to be winning players. The 2 of them, like, I don't know. Are they just kind of roll the balls out and play? I'll get mine. And if we, they're the type of guys, hey, how'd you do today? Oh, well, I scored 23 and 10 rebounds. Yeah. No, I'm asking about the score. There's different kind of guys.
I know what you're
like
saying,
that.
but I'm also
There's
not going to shy away from a player of that talent that Harper has.
Harper definitely has the talent. I just worry,
just because they didn't win college. I'm not going to. It's not going to. These guys have interviewed. Like the Spurs have interviewed Harper. They know what that guy.
100%. Also,
even they're in love with.
If he is selfish, that shit's gonna change real quick going to the Spurs.
Oh, yeah.
Again, that's an organization that doesn't take any of the bullshit.
First day, Pop's gonna pull him aside from he's gonna be watching from up top. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, right.
He's gonna bring Tony Parker in and be like, "Listen, talk to this guy. It's gonna be Parker and Manu, and they'll just be like, hey, you want to win? Do you want to be great? You want to be a Hall of Famer? Do this."
Edgecombe to the 76ers.
It's starting to feel more and more like it's just going to happen.
What?
Edgecombe to the Sixers.
This is ESPN's mock. Edgecombe to the Sixers at 3. I really do like him. If I was the 76ers, that fall off for them was quick. They were in that Knicks series, which was a fucking war, in the mix before that, and now what?
Their guys didn't play all year.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Maxey was.
I know. I know.
You don't know when Embiid will ever be.
You
the
can't.
same guy.
Yeah,
you
right.
Just can't guarantee Embiid's ever playing.
So the Sixers change things up. Yeah, I don't know. If I was a Sixer, I look at Knipple at 3. I really do like him. But Edgecombe's a beast.
They also didn't have McCain all year too, and McCain was really good to start the season. So there's there's reason that they can really shoot up the East again.
It's like a tradition. Like every Sixers first-round pick has to have an injury that first year.
Yeah.
I would look at Knipple at 3 if I was the Sixers. But
I think
again,
I saw
Edgecombe's really good.
Knipple's like now minus 1,000 to go inside the top 5, something like that.
Oh, as he should.
That was
he should be.
I know, but like I feel like a couple weeks ago, maybe like they were thinking the Nets are gonna get him.
Right.
That's just not happening.
That makes
like,
sense.
People have like really right up top. Yeah, Knipple's fascinating.
Knipple at 4 to the Hornets.
I don't want the Hornets taking him.
That's some pretty good wings though with Miller and Knipple.
That team's going nowhere.
They will never be
That
good.
team's just not good. Especially
just-
with LaMelo there, they'll never like LaMelo. It's just there for himself, and that's it.
Agreed.
He's the perfect Hornet.
But you would have 2 really, really good young wings though, in Knipple and Miller. That's a good setup. Right?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But like the rest of that team, and I don't know, they're just destined to suck.
Yeah, Hornets have never.
They're brutal. What, they win 19 games last year?
Yeah.
Like
I've really never been good in my life. Didn't they get a 1 seed? With Chris Paul.
I don't know.
Dude,
but
that was a different Hornets. That's
It was
what,
New Orleans, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
that team's not called the Pelicans now.
Yeah. So Charlotte. Yeah. That's where it gets fucking hairy.
But Charlotte was good like one
That
year.
they were the New Orleans
Yeah.
Hornets, and Charlotte was the fucking Bobcats. But then the Hornets came.
This is a team that used to be the Bobcats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the history of that is fucking bizarre.
Did they lose to LeBron in a first round or something? Yeah, they did. Yeah. 25 the last time they were in the playoffs.
All right. So then
They
when
made
you
the Eastern Conference the first round, and they lost to LeBron.
So when you're telling the story of the Hornets franchise, right? It's Hornets, Bobcats, back to Hornets. Is that the way you would say that that's the same franchise? Or does it go Hornets, New Orleans? Because then that New Orleans team becomes the Pelicans. That's where
how
it
you
gets.
do it. You say the Hornets, New Orleans Hornets, and then Pelicans. Whereas this is just Bobcats to Hornets.
right.
That doesn't make any sense to me, though. So was there a period of time? So all right, so the team moved out of Charlotte for a period of time.
Yes, they moved to New Orleans.
Moved to New Orleans.
Yes.
And then, all right. So the Hornets' history is Hornets, New Orleans Hornets, Pelicans.
Yes. And the current Charlotte Hornets is Bobcats, Hornets.
I just don't agree with. Like, I just don't. Is that the most confusing thing?
Maybe
in
they
sports?
shouldn't
very
they should
confusing.
ban the name Hornets. Like just think of
Yeah,
something else.
you got to get a different team. Right. You got to get. Because then it's an easier path to tell. Like Hornets franchise. Okay, they went from Charlotte to New Orleans and then became the Pelicans. But
It's just
there's-
like who's on first.
it's just so fucking whatever. It's just typical for that fucking franchise.
2016 series, no LeBron, by the way. That was Wade. LeBron was still in the Cavs.
All right.
It's like the most forgettable playoff series in NBA
It went
history.
7 games.
It's the most forgettable 7-game series in NBA history.
It went 7 games.
So if I told you when was the last time Charlotte was in the playoffs, you probably would say like, oh, when Chris Paul was there.
Yeah, Goran Dragic, 25 points.
I really can't. I don't want to beat it down. I really can't get over the fact that there are going to be guys who played on the Hornets, and like if they ever did an alumni type thing, or like when you look, oh, that guy, who are the best Hornets? You have to list Bobcats, not the Shark. Whatever. That's fucking bizarre. Fears to the Jazz at 5. What they're saying.
Interesting guy. He's small, like frail. Not a good defender, but like really
Carried that team, yeah.
really skilled at the rim. Like Kyrie level, like I feel like finishing at the rim. There's a lot. Like he's just like a really cool player to watch.
Bailey then goes to the Wizards at 6.
We'll see.
The guy I kind of love in this, or again, I don't think he's gonna score fucking 20 a game, but I think he's a really, really good piece. I almost wish he was going to a better team. The big kid from Duke.
I don't know why he's going so.
Malik?
I feel like
I
he
don't know
should
how to say his
Malawak.
Malawak? Yeah, I'll
He
say his
should
name.
go higher. Is it just because he had a bad end to the like?
I don't think
he's
he can
really bad in that.
He's not a
the
3-point
very-
shooter.
No,
which hurts him as a
He does hit
7-footer.
free throws though. He's like 75% from the
Yeah,
line.
which hurts him as a big, obviously now. But
I don't know. He's an athletic, true 7-footer. His reach is crazy. Block shots, rebounds.
really,
hits your-
really good piece.
Hits your free throws. Nice guy to have for your team. Nice little piece if you need size.
Really, really good piece.
Like, imagine the Lakers somehow got their hands on him. What they need. He's like exactly what they need.
You wonder if the Lakers have any pieces? Yeah, to fucking.
No.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
Reeves and picks to move up. I don't know if that's enough to. Maybe it is actually.
Why don't the Lakers fleece the world when they got Luka? What about then becoming the butt of the joke, dumping him for the 7? Luka for the 7, straight up.
Yep.
And completely fuck that up.
Luka, by the way, the reports are he has lost all of his weight and he is in insane shape. Like the strict diet, like looks like a different guy. Type of like best shape of your life type is being talked about with Luka.
Yeah, I think if you have a shot to get a ring with LeBron, that changes. Like I think he will. Like that's a motivator.
I mean, it's just that guy has Nico Harrison's face all over his his house,
right.
And it's just motivation. It's a dartboard, and every single day it's to shut that guy up.
Trey Johnson to the Nets at 8.
Feels like a good pick for them.
Does feel like a good pick.
If he gets down to 8.
Some kid named Noah Asingwe.
That's the guy who just quit on his team.
From Germany? What do you mean?
Is that not him? Is that a different guy?
That is him.
Yeah. This guy just quit on his team in like the playoffs or the finals or playoffs.
Really?
He just left to be in the draft.
Why is that not talked about more?
It was blogged yesterday. I think John Rich had it. Yeah, he just left his team.
Interesting. That's...
His stat line isn't crazy in the series.
It's not really affecting his future.
Guys also don't.
These
guys also like I don't think Luka had like crazy
in the German League finals.
Finals, yeah, just left.
We'll miss the remainder of the German League finals to attend the NBA draft ceremony, which is, what are they saying, tonight? Per Basket News sources, Ulm currently leads Bayern Munich 2-1 in the best of 5. So he could also clinch. He could get a championship.
It's a red flag for me. I would not pick him in the top 10.
Undrafted.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that guy.
And then a guy stayed. Go back to the last sentence. That guy stayed.
Fellow draft Ben Surratt.
Taking him. Taking Ben in the second round.
That's a tough look, man. You only get drafted once, but like you didn't grow up watching the draft. You're from Germany.
He still might have watched the draft.
Definitely watched it, but yeah, I guess.
We're just creating that story. But like, I don't know, man. That's not the best character look for me. Maybe that's silly, and maybe like who gives a fuck about the German finals? But I don't know. That's your team
playing for a championship.
Boys.
Yeah, it's very tough.
His stat line isn't great. He's averaging like 4 and 3 or something, but I don't think these guys typically average crazy stat lines.
Very, very tough. Carter Bryant goes to Phoenix.
Okay, I don't know much about him, admittedly.
Arizona kid, pretty sure.
I know Arizona kid. I'm saying I don't know why. I guess I didn't watch a ton of Arizona, or if I did, it was that guy was just chucking a billion shots a game. The kid from UNC.
Kasparis Jakulashovic.
He's a fun guy.
From Illinois. He's going to go to Portland.
Very fun player.
Very good player.
Awesome vision.
Colin Murray Boyles from a 6'6" kid out of South Carolina.
Can't say.
To be honest, did not watch a lot of them. They were not very good.
Yeah, that wasn't a good. Igor's fun.
Yep. Demon, who I really, really like from BYU, is going to the Hawks.
There is so much potential with that kid. Like
He's really good.
Where they list him at 6'9" and a quarter without shoes. True point guard, great vision, has a shot.
So what would the Hawks be? It's Trey Young, Demon, and KP is where they start.
Jalen Johnson now back from injury, and the Risache.
Is Jalen Johnson the Duke kid?
Duke.
Yes, he's the one that quit on Duke.
He's the guy who quit on Duke.
He is the guy.
What kind of career has he had?
Dude,
that is not a kid I'm rooting for.
He was starting to like really blossom, and then he got hurt and he was out for the year. But like, it got to a point where it was like, what the fuck do the Hawks have in Jalen Johnson, right?
Yeah.
And then out for the year. So like, you get him back, really fun piece. Hawks in a weak East. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Maybe like
I feel like we said every year with the Hawks.
Can they be a 6 seed? Is it that crazy?
If you give a fuck in the regular season, yes, you can watch a team. You watched. Listen, did you think the Cavs were loaded last year?
They're a good team.
Talented, not loaded.
No, yeah, right.
Cavs got the one because they gave a fuck in the regular season. Yeah. That's the way the NBA is now. Like if you give a fuck, and you identify options too, like whatever on a there's not as many back-to-backs. But on a back-to-back, like, go steal, like, play both as hard as you can. Go steal both back-to-backs. Like, give a fuck during the regular season. You watch yourself
The Knicks a couple years
rise
ago
up.
got the 2 seed. They gave a fuck.
They did. The Knicks gave a fuck in the regular season. Agreed. But, yeah, these other teams, like, you can, injuries or.
The Hawks, Igor, that's a fun pick. I don't know. I'm just staring at, like, that's a little, there's some pieces on that roster. Who's their coach?
They got
Quinn Snyder.
Is it Quinn Snyder? Yeah. Okay.
They got Bray on the staff, so.
So
I'm
you
rooting
just
for the
hate
Hawks.
Jalen Johnson because he quit on Duke?
What?
You just hate Jalen Johnson because he quit on Duke?
I also don't like the German kid because he quit on his team. I
But
don't
like-
like guys
He's
quitting
saying-
on a
he's-
team.
He's saying the pattern, like, you're just
I mean, yeah, what's wrong? I mean,
wrong with quitting on
there are people in this room that have quit on Duke before, and so why are you holding it against them?
It's fair. It's fair. Yeah, but I didn't play for him, Phil.
You were a fan for
Yeah,
several years. You were more dedicated to Duke than he was.
I was. I longer, had more. Yeah, had more. All right, some of the notables.
You're a special kind of prick.
He's an
Oh,
all-time prick. Yeah,
I can't gloss over that.
Notables kind of going in the rest of the first round that I wrote down.
Okay.
Somehow Oklahoma City still has 2 first-round picks.
Oh, 15 and 24.
That's fucking insane,
Oh, yeah.
dude.
And like 3 next year and 2
Would
more
you-
the year after.
Would you try and do 15 and 24? It's probably too much for Demon. You imagine Oklahoma City getting him?
Well, they have Topic though, so like they have the point guard. They have the. It's literally like they have their own version of. We have Topic. We have Denon at home.
Yeah.
They haven't mocked the Queen here. That's interesting.
There's nothing
Queen
wrong
seems
with
to be
there's nothing
falling.
wrong with being 9, 10 deep in the NBA though.
Why can't they be with Queen though?
Yeah, I like Queen. I think it's just a different. I
Like-
mean, Demon's gonna go berserk shooting. Queen's good. I like Queen a lot, but I don't know. Demon brings a different
Queen's fallen. I feel like a little bit.
element. Queen definitely is falling, but he's really, really good.
You like him playing with sleeves? Is he going to play with sleeves in the NBA?
I don't love the sleeves.
You don't love the sleeves.
I don't love the sleeves. A lot of questions in there, right? Yeah, a lot of questions.
I started at 11:30.
A lot of questions.
I just got done. I was like, I gotta go to Pick Central. I looked up, it was 12:35. I apologize for not being here.
You got to embrace your Long Island. Speak a little faster.
I was speaking so fast.
Fair enough.
He said sorry. That was a lot of questions.
Yeah, Marty, we just Bosco said he can't root for Jalen Johnson because he quit on Duke, and I thought it was ironic.
That is very ironic.
Kid played for him.
Where's Jalen Johnson going?
He's at
He's
the Hawks.
on the Hawks.
On the Hawks.
We were
That was a
talking
kid who
about the
quit
Hawks
on Duke a
roster.
couple years.
Oh, I know who Jalen Johnson is. I don't.
We were talking Hawks ball because we were just going down the mock. They're mock to get Igor from BYU, and they have some nice pieces.
I have one thing to say about all these trades. I know you guys have talked about it. Celtics fans. I saw one, especially Greeny. I saw it was like when they got Anthony Simons. They're like, oh my God, Brad did it again. Not everything Brad Stevens does is Jesus Christ. That was a fine trade. It wasn't like holy shit he did it again. It was
dumping.
I do think it's more of getting
course it's
rid of
Dumping Holiday was a prayer.
but dumping Holiday was gonna happen, and
I don't know.
I don't
yes,
know.
it was. Yes, at 100. You guys, people downplayed Drew Holiday way too much. Like he's still a very good defensive player. His contract's not good.
37 mil.
And yeah, of course, but it's also where did he go? The Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah. Who he doesn't want to play for.
Yeah, of course, no one wants to play for the Portland Trailblazers. But like, I'm sick of like, not everything he does is like glory to God.
I'll say that with the Porzingis trade is like expiring.
Porzingis was like,
You could get rid of him.
I mean, actually good for George Niang. He gets to go home.
Yep.
That's what we were talking about.
They're also saying Hubs is saying he's going to be like the 12th guy on the team.
I don't think he's going to play.
Maybe
much.
11th.
Yeah, I don't think he's playing
He
much.
didn't
for
really
Boston.
play on the Hawks.
I like Niang.
I love Niang.
True, like good Barstool guy too. Like loves
Yeah.
Barstool from our.
Yeah, I remember actually we were doing a stream in Philly,
He just showed up.
and
That was the
Tyrese
time I
Max,
met him, yeah.
Tyrese Maxey showed up, George Niang showed up, and I was like, oh, and I've hung out with George a bunch, so I was like, George, come like on a stream, and Jack McCarthy boxed him out and said, no one could come, like, no, you can't come on stream. He thought he was a stranger. He had no idea it was George Niang. It was very funny
Yeah,
explaining.
he's a
to
big
him after.
guy.
Huge.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
He's
And Iowa State had already won that day, and that's who they would have played in the second round. And Wisconsin had that late game against Colgate, so Big Cat was fired up, and then he was like, "You're next." And Niang
Yeah.
was kind of like,
Niang.
"Oh yeah, it was a very
I've-
good stream."
One of Niang, Yandel, Kevin Hayes was one of the funniest 3 people I've ever hung out with at once. It was like I didn't speak the entire time because it was like they were the funniest people. It was crazy.
Yeah, I think it was me, you, and Glennie Bowles as well.
Were you? That was that one. Oh yeah, you were there too. Yes. That was a great night.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Was that the hookah lounge?
I believe so.
That was great. Great time.
Yeah, I went to buy a round for Yandel, and Yandel's like, "This is the type of place you don't leave your card."
no, you don't.
I was like, "No." He's
Yeah, that's the famous night where Rico started doing when NHL players started traveling.
Yeah,
And then you started betting on teams on travel days.
I got the info. A kid people love, Cedric Coward from Washington State.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to go 16. Wolf 18 to the Wizards. Newell we touched on going to the Nets. I think he's really good.
What do you think that the Sixers are going to do at 3?
Probably Edgecombe.
You think so?
I think you should take. I would take Knipple.
I love that.
And what I said is I think the Nets trade up to get Knipple like 4.
I hope if Knipple's in New York, I'd love that. I will.
It feels like the Nets have so many picks.
I'd be a Nets fan.
Very smart. He's a very, very small player.
The thing
very
is,
small player.
I think Knipple actually would be great on the Sixers. Like they need a player kind of like him to do everything, shoot. Like they already have Maxey. Like I think adding
McCain though too.
No, of course, yeah. Well, hopefully he comes back good because he was hurt the whole second half.
Whole year.
Yeah,
I think he played like 20 games.
He was good the first 20 games.
Really good.
Knipple's. Where do you think Malawak goes?
7, they're saying, to the Pelicans.
And I was just saying,
where he's going to go. I think he's really good. I want him to go to a better team.
Me
right.
too.
It feels like he should go higher. Like I don't know why Malawak isn't like a top 5 guy.
Who's 4? Who's for the 4th team?
Hornets.
So it would be Miller and Knipple as their wings, which would be a good start, but they're not doing anything. And Ball is a fucking disaster. So he's good, but he's looking out for
I'm
himself.
very excited for this draft because there's a lot of
Way better than last year.
Yeah.
Last year I truly didn't give a shit.
Newell at 19 goes to the Nets. I really do like him.
Yeah.
McNeely, his high school teammate, would go to the Heat at 20. Clayton to the Pelicans at 23. So if you're the Pelicans, you come out of this with Malawak and Clayton. Is it 2 exciting pieces? Again, I don't know if Clayton's going to be phenomenal in the NBA, but he's obviously a great college player.
McNeely I like a lot.
Will Riley from Illinois goes
Do you like McNeely a lot?
I do.
Why?
I
shoot it. He's big.
that whole season,
Winning culture. You're talking about Montverde and then UConn.
I didn't love him.
Knockdown shooter, athletic, plays defense.
A little soft.
A little maybe. If you want to really critique, like I don't know. There's a
Oh,
lot.
I'm critiquing things. It's
a lot
draft day.
There's a lot of talent.
Of course, there's a lot of talent. I'm being a little harsh.
I
just
thought
didn't love him. Like I guess 20th is actually not really taking like a high.
I watched that UConn team all year, and I was convinced like now they're gonna take off. Now
That's the problem though. Where
Yeah,
I was like,
I don't know.
he would take. I thought he'd take over.
He was also hurt for like a whole month.
Yeah.
He had a forget what the injury was, but they kind of took it down.
That's when it hurt there.
Do they have Proctor going anywhere?
Not in the first round.
I mean, if I meant even like second, probably second.
They have Proctor going 34th to the Charlotte Hornets.
Oh, all right. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
for
so
them.
early.
Dukes-
That's an early
Right.
second
So
round.
Duke's, I did see that. I apologize. I lost track of Proctor. Duke's starting 5 will get drafted tonight and tomorrow, and they'll be the only other team besides Kentucky that had their entire starting 5 drafted.
Proctor, Malawak, Cooper Flag,
And Knipple.
Knipple.
The 3 of them are going in the top 7. And then you talk about the other 2 going higher. Zion James and
Oh yeah, Scion.
and
I forgot Scion.
and Proctor.
Scion's. They're saying Scion's gonna go pretty high.
35 to 40.
Wow.
I see, right?
That's
Where is he
crazy.
in the mocks?
Scion.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just got a text from him. Scion is going. Did I just have him? No, they don't have him going anywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if he's gonna.
I saw him on this.
Nope,
mock.
sorry. Jazz 43rd.
Yeah. So
All right,
relatively.
that's
early,
pretty
yeah.
late, but still, it's impressive.
He's older.
That's why I didn't think he'd get drafted because I thought he's older.
We got him going right before John A. Broom.
What a transfer. That shows you why this transfer portal
Going
is
from Tulane to there.
because
Yeah.
he would never be looked at if he was on Tulane.
No,
He did play great at Duke.
Kalkbrenner 29. Ugh.
Yeah, Will Riley
Fire whole front office.
Will Riley from Illinois goes to Oklahoma City. So Oklahoma City would walk away from this with Queen and Riley. Neat Clifford, who I like a lot out of Colorado State.
That was my me and Tommy in March. That guy's awesome.
Goes to the Nets at 26, and then Kalkbrenner goes to the Suns at 29. Those are notable college guys kind of going in the first round.
You think if Luka was still on the team, they'd have the number 1 pick?
Probably not.
Why?
What do you mean?
Like, if Luka was still on the team, do you think they'd – because they still weren't playing well. Like, they'd still probably finish around the same amount.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, do you think
maybe they would have won a couple more games?
Oh, but Silver wouldn't have gifted
I think they wouldn't have gifted him, right?
No.
Like, I think they definitely
Oh,
Rupp
right.
Silver would not have gifted him.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting thing
I was-
because imagine Luka. No, it's not a. You also
I was
could be.
confused where you were going with that. Yeah.
It could
makes
still
sense.
be probably like if you don't believe it was rigged, which I do, but like
Yeah, definitely.
imagine Luka was on this team still,
Yeah.
and they had Cooper Flag to
Oh,
that.
ridiculous.
It's like holy shit.
A fun guy I saw in the second round here, Cam Jones. Love Cam Jones. Marquette guy.
No, yeah, I know.
very
It's,
good.
That guy, he's old.
I
That's
thought
the
he
only
was
thing.
gonna be better as well.
He's older, but like, I don't know. His
Good.
great games in college were fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Triple doubles and stuff. Like I'm a Cam Jones guy.
So the most important team this year, this draft is the Nets, right?
Yeah, it's the biggest night in like Nets history.
Because this is their future. Is tonight like this? They have a piece on their team. You would say.
Who?
Who's their
Thomas?
Cam
best-
Thomas.
Yeah,
Cam Thomas.
Cam Thomas.
I think they would trade him in seconds. If they,
Yeah, I think they'll trade anyone on that team.
yeah. I don't know if I call him I mean, he's an asset.
Maybe
for their
asset,
team.
I'd say.
He's an NBA player.
He's an NBA player.
He's a body. I was just trying to think of anyone on the team. And I
It's
went
him
blank.
and Nick Claxton.
Claxton. That's who I meant.
Claxton's probably their.
I meant Claxton. Yes, not because Cam Thomas was G League, and then he had 40 8 nights in a row. Claxton, and then I think there's going to be a trade though. I think there's going to be someone gets up I think someone top 5 trades.
I think
out.
the Nets use those picks to go into the top 5 and take Con Kneppel.
Oh, I'd love if Con went there.
And that's based off nothing but like my brain had an epiphany going here. Like, hey, why don't they use those picks and just get up there? Why would they wait at 8? It would kind of stun me if the Nets pick at 8. And they don't move up. They're content. I feel like they move up.
I agree. What do they have? So they have 8 what?
8 and 27 and
No, 8, 19, 26, 27, and then 22, I believe.
I think,
But in 22, they're taking an overseas guy, so I didn't write them down.
8,
I'm pretty sure it's
19,
8,
You
19,
got to trade.
22, 26, and 27.
What would you trade 3 of them for the 3rd pick?
Yeah, I'm like McVay with this shit. I would trade all my picks.
To get 3.
I would hate picks. I'd just trade them all.
Because I think first two are locked in.
Yeah.
This Ace Bailey
I
thing
actually think
is fun.
Edgecombe might be locked in. Like I think because Philly might have wanted to take Bailey if he was interested, but now he's not. He's like,
The
okay,
only
Bailey's
reason-
not interested.
no.
Like I know he's.
I don't think Bailey wants to play in the NBA.
I think he just what is he doing? I don't understand why.
Letting that agent
I
take over
think
his life.
Philly has 2 scenarios tonight. Either they take Edgecombe at 3, or what I talked about before. It's like Utah trades for Paul George in 3, and they get pick 5 back. Like they trade down basically. I think those are the only 2 scenarios.
My favorite thing to happen would be someone trades out with them, or they don't take Ace Bailey, and Ace Bailey's unbelievable, and Philly missed out on him. Because that would be something Philly has.
He didn't work out for any
Yeah,
team.
it's like not their fault though.
No, it's not their fault, but they would make it their fault. 2 years from now, they'd be like, "We can't believe we missed on him."
Yeah, we just forget context that 2
Yeah.
years down the line.
Yeah, I don't know.
We make fun of them for picking Fultz over teams. Like, how did they? What did they see in Markelle Fultz?
Yeah, it's just so weird, man. I don't get Ace Bailey doing this at all. I really don't. It makes 0 sense, and it's also kind of funny. This is such a good draft, and Philly still doesn't have you don't know exactly who they're gonna take. I think it's gonna be Edgecombe too, but
The other team I think and it sounds weird because they just won a fucking title. The other team that I think has to, or it would be, they would hit an insane stratosphere if they nail them. Oklahoma City, if they come away with good pieces and go 2 for 2 here at 15 and 24, even role players or maybe one guy emerges, Derek Queen emerges to a 6th man, 7th man, like in the rotation, and Oklahoma City just gets even deeper and has more assets. Then, like, let's say Queen has a good year as the 8th man on Oklahoma City or 7th. Now you could take that, another number one, and then get a fucking super. You know what I mean? Like they could do whatever the fuck they want and already have a ring and already have superstars all over the place and young guys. Like,
where do they have Queen going?
15, Oklahoma City.
Wow. If
And then
Queen goes OKC, I'm sick.
What a good spot for him.
Amazing
Yeah.
spot. 15 is like, you're like, I'd rather go 15 today. No, I wouldn't. The money's
Well,
There is a guy, that
Tens
kid,
of millions of dollars.
that kid Coward from Washington State that people love.
Yeah.
He's at 16. Maybe if Oklahoma City like finds a gem in him, you know, it's just very interesting that it's very rare that a team coming off of a title has picks at 15 and 24, and then next year has what, 3 first rounders?
You guys have 0, correct?
We pick 50th tonight.
The Knicks never.
As a fan,
Knicks never have first.
like, it does suck today. This draft, you'd want.
Yeah, but you're also in the mix. Like, so it's better to be that.
You're not in the mix today.
We
We're in
gave
the
up
mix
like
for
what?
we're in the
20
mix for the race of a title.
We gave up like what, the 25th pick.
Are you,
Like,
though?
Yes.
You really think you are?
We have the second best title odds right
Second
now.
best title odds.
I
the East.
understand, but
Two of
you
the
guys
teams.
still think
Two
that
of the teams that are ahead of us, you would say, when ranking them in the East, just lost their best players for a long period of time.
that's a good point.
So there you go. You know, and the Cavs again, like
You just don't have a coach. You
That
don't have-
doesn't-
things are not looking great at home.
Also, why do I want draft picks? I mean, players 25 and under are going to be like less valuable now, thanks to the current world events going on.
Why do you want? Oh God.
Took a minute to realize that.
Well, yeah, I didn't think you were talking about World War III about to happen on Pick Central.
Well, I mean, like I said, 25 and under players less valuable. They're going to go to a different draft.
Guy.
Knicks. I'm taking it's Gallon Day.
Wait. There's one thing on OKC I want to show, Liam. Everyone on the team has their own holiday now.
I saw that.
Yeah, I did see that.
July 10th, Nikola Topic Day.
Nikola Topic gets a day.
Incredible.
When
I think someone's birthday is someone else's day. They didn't even like line
Really?
it up. I forget who. It might be in the replies they said it,
I
but
wish GB got a day.
I wish GB got a day.
That's a crazy thing to do. That's just like, what are we doing?
I mean, they won a title.
Well,
Like, do what they want.
listen.
you know what's weird? The day they won the title isn't a day.
That should be.
Bro, you can
That should
just
be-
win. Just win a championship, have the parade. You don't have to do all these extra. I
Wasn't the
understand
parade,
like enjoying it,
Wasn't the
but
parade like awfully attended too?
That doesn't surprise
did
me.
the parade happen already?
Yeah, I think so.
There was
The
yesterday.
parade happened,
It happened yesterday.
and what Ev probably would have been sitting here being like, "Oh, what? They let them celebrate." No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck that OKC won. No one cares.
You know what's interesting too to me with those guys? First off, GB doesn't need a day because he's got every night. So I want that out there. Why did Liam's just crying? Why did those guys? If you don't drink, that's one thing. That's like you're an athlete, protect your body. I totally get that, respect it. Wouldn't you want to take one of those bottles of champagne as a souvenir?
Yeah. I
They
guess.
like when they show the visual of all that was left over. You know, take as much as you.
Yeah.
Some
want
intern
from
did.
those games,
Some
like-
intern's house apartment is filled with those.
Oh my god!
I would
they're
take
the
a
best
bag
night
of
ever.
yeah. I would take a bag
The cleaning
of
crew. The cleaning crew is still partying in the locker
They
room.
haven't cleaned shit.
Yeah,
I would take a
Pacers
bag of.
cleaning crew. It's also like I'm not talking about the celebration about drinking. I don't care if you don't drink. I don't give a fuck. You don't need to drink to celebrate. Fucking look like you're having fun.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand. They went straight to a handshakes right at like I'd be in the fucking crowd going crazy. You just won a championship. I don't care that they're I don't drink. Fucking look like I can't believe the celebration happened yesterday.
Yep.
Was there one notable thing?
I saw the other Jalen Williams had a really good 5-second speech in front of the crowd. Otherwise, no one really
Alex Caruso had a cool shirt on.
Yeah, I had a cool shirt on. Sure.
Yeah, very
There's
weird.
really nothing.
SGA was
special.
fist bumping some people, but it almost looked like they were.
SGA was fist pumping people. That was fist bumping people. That's the highlight.
Highlight.
It is weird.
Can you imagine New York when the Knicks win?
Oh, no.
I actually don't think it'll ever happen. But it's like, oh my! I think it would burn down.
No one will go to work.
No,
For days.
I'd go to work just to see it
For days.
because where we're located.
Clemmer was blaming the street signs for Indiana losing.
Dude, Marshawn was on Spittin' Chicklets with a daiquiri yesterday. They're still going.
Yeah.
They haven't stopped.
Oh yeah, that in the pool. That would look like a good.
$500,000 tab at 11.
Yeah, Marshawn went back in to pay it. And
I'm now like, I think I want to watch the NHL.
That's also pretty sick when you go back to back because it's one of those like, all right, as much as we partied in the first one, now it's like we're coming off two. Like,
we're
just
back
keep
to back.
fucking
They're
going.
celebrating more.
Yeah, that's you just keep fucking.
It's the first
going.
one their franchise. I'm sick over this. I'm sick over this, and I don't want to hear like they could celebrate. No, they should be happier. And last thing, we shouldn't. Our baseball teams suck. Yours suck. We suck.
8 extra innings.
You guys are like, I don't want to be done with it. You're not concerned. You should be concerned.
I am concerned.
Like, there's
I
no
have
more
concerns.
like, oh, this is a slump. This is no slump.
This is
You was
11
at 5 in a row against the Braves?
5 in a row.
You were up 3-0
It's
yesterday.
a carbon
Yeah.
copy to what happened with us in the Sox.
Yes.
Like, and the
1000%.
Braves were deep in the NLE standings. Now they're creeping up a little bit. It's a carbon copy.
You're giving the Braves also like
Except they're not going to trade
life.
Acuna.
you're giving the
tomorrow.
Braves hope, even though they just like Sale had to dive for a ball and break his rib basically.
It's not even just the Braves. The whole National League now is like
No,
starting to,
100%.
like,
There's a
come
mix.
close.
You
Like,
were
yeah,
we're
there's a
two
mix.
games better than
Cubs are spiraling.
Dude, we're 2 games better
the
than the
fuck is
Cardinals.
Pete Crow Armstrong doing?
Crow Armstrong. That's no MVP, right?
Got no outs, man.
That's no MVP.
I know the
one out and tagging from second on a pop fly to home.
Win was flying.
Crazy. But it's concerning on both ends.
I mean, extra innings is like the Yankees go to extra innings. The live line should be
Over.
plus 300.
Yeah, it's over.
It's not. It's like sometimes I think they were favored. They should be plus 300 in extra. innings.
100%. You are concerned though.
Definitely concerned.
You are too.
Definitely concerned.
Are you concerned?
Yes.
Okay, sometimes
definitely.
you're just like, oh.
No, I'm concerned of just like the hitting is.
This
just
is the offense that I
problem.
feared they would be at the start of the year.
But our pitching has been really good.
Pitching is what I thought it'd be too. I thought they'd be a good pitching team. I did not think they'd be a good hitting team, and it's kind of happening.
But we're getting better at pitching, hopefully.
We're not getting better hitting.
Well, that we could get better at hitting, which is nice.
How?
There's trades out.
Oh,
there.
okay. I'm saying, but there's no one coming back. I'm
No.
This is the offense.
And these
Yeah.
trades you're talking about, they're like a month away. Like no
Correct.
one's,
No one's trading right
no
now.
one's trading right now.
You need to find someone that will
I'll say this too.
soon.
They have a very tough July schedule, and Tampa and Toronto are right there.
Honestly, they have to
Dallas
be
never
more
decides to
worried. They have to be more worried than us because, like,
No,
we have to be an absolute disaster not to make the playoffs.
Look, the
Like,
National
absolute
League.
disaster.
So they.
No, the National
we're-
League is a
I
lot
said-
better than
Getting
what the
closer.
AL. Like,
Dude, we're 2 games up on the Cardinals right now, who are the first team out. Like,
yeah, they're only 2 games up. Like, we're
And on the
still
flip side, we're 2
completely
games back
fine
of
in
the
the AL.
Phillies.
Like, they have a lot more people in the mix than we do.
Yeah. That's true.
That's where I'm saying well, ours is be a disaster. Yours is already a disaster, and you're still up. Like, your disaster happened. You now have to get it back
I think
going.
we'll be fine. I think there will be a light at the end of the tunnel,
I do
but it
too.
just fucking sucks right now.
What's tonight? Who do they have?
We're
Who's,
facing Diddy.
Clay versus Diddy.
Clay versus Diddy.
oh, Fuentes.
Yeah.
That's not a definite.
It's
All
a
right.
game we should win, but then we'll look up and be like, oh, it's 8-7 Braves or something.
All right, picks tonight. It's Gallon Day, 210. I think he's playing the White Sox. It's a get right spot for Gallon. He's also, they're saying they're not going to trade him. I do think they will. Arizona kind of has no shot to, I think they do have to unload some assets. I like Gallon to get a win plus 135. Marty, what do you got?
I have Cooper Flag to go number 1 tonight.
Minus 50,000.
I
So Trump should put our nation's economy on that, and we just like get money.
I have the Pittsburgh Pirates today. It is Wednesday, and Skeens also helps that Skeens pitching today, and they're only minus 110.
Yeah, because you see what he's facing.
Yeah. But Skeens, it's Wednesday and Skeens. It should
the
be
Wednesday
it should
Pirates.
be minus 400. I'm going with the Angels. Fitz sucks, and Kikuchi's actually been pretty good.
Also, you see the way the Sox lost last night.
Yes,
they
awesome. I'm going with the. We also do have to do one little bit of research into what happened to the Texas Rangers.
I saw a lot.
How
of
did
people
they win
were
the
like-
World
I
Series?
saw a lot of people were like, "We got to investigate 2023."
How did they win that easily? It makes no sense because they are not good. I don't get it.
They were so good in 2023 that I thought they would become a dynasty.
Dude, everyone did.
DeGrom
Like
not
Evan-
pitching that year either.
No, it took
DeGrom didn't pitch that
DeGrom
year.
didn't-
He was hurt.
DeGrom wasn't even on the
Yeah,
team.
He wasn't even on the team.
No.
Yeah, Evaldi was really good.
Baldy was really good. And Montgomery.
And Montgomery. But he sucks.
Who?
Montgomery sucked when he.
Baldy's still good.
Yeah, but that's it.
No,
They're hitters. What about
Evan,
hitters?
Simeon
I thought
stinks.
Evan Carter was going to become like one of the best hitters in the league, and he ended up going. He's back up now, but
It's crazy.
Seager, Simeon, yeah, they're all down.
Seager's still really good.
He is, but he's not healthy.
That's the other part. He also missed time that year too, I believe.
Not as much. I feel like he's been on the IL 4 separate times this year.
I'm taking a flyer on the Athletics. People aren't talking about like Jack Flaherty hasn't been good. Like everyone's like, oh, the Tigers. He has not been a good pitcher this year. I'm going with the Braves. I honestly I just don't know how you take the Braves plus money right now. They've won 5 in a row against the Mets. I'm not taking the Yankees today. I can't do it to myself.
Oh,
I can't do it to myself.
because you would have to take them run line, and you're not trusting them to win by 2.
No, exactly. And then I'm gonna take the Astros against Wheeler, and then I am going to take the Colorado Rockies against Yamamoto, plus 265.
Times you got to take those. Yeah.
Yep.
Hubs.
I have the under in the first 5 of Brewers Pirates. Mizorowski versus Skeens 2.5 minus 105. That could be easily 0-0. You almost like that could be a fun one. Angels minus 132. I'm taking that one. Marty. White Sox plus 128. Braves plus 128. This is tomorrow morning. In tennis, Ekaterina Alexandrova plus 140 against Iga Swiatek. And today, Taylor Fritz 2-0 straight sets plus 110.
Bosco, does this mean anything to you? The Ace, Sun, and the Whack are forming an alliance.
No, that's.
Southern Utah and Utah Tech are leaving the Whack for the Big Sky.
Yeah, it was fun that those 2 years I was just dedicated to the Big Sky.
Just crazy. Like these other schools are.
Remember we interviewed Groves and I wore the headband the whole fucking show?
Yes, I do. Can you? I'm gonna show you. This guy just sent me this tweet, Meek, saying his tweet to me says, "Does Shy look like he's having enough fun for you, dumbass? He's just walking with his shirt off, like smiling. It's not like anything that crazy. I don't. Oops, my bad. That's what we're gonna say. That's it." He's having fun. He's walking with his shirt off. It was 100 degrees out
Did
yesterday.
they even do a team trip to Vegas?
No. They're going to play video games tonight. They're probably all playing COD tonight, being like, we won, boys. Let's get a dub. That's
Yeah,
it.
that is kind of weird. But that's the NBA. 12 guys, 12 cabs. You do have the parade. Shouldn't there be also some kind of trip? So to
A lot of NBA guys go to Baha Mar.
I know, but go together. Like we all
Wait,
want, you know
maybe
what
they
I
do.
mean?
Maybe they
Like,
do.
they shouldn't be going where we can go.
I agree.
Like Baja Mar is like a good trip for
Throw Tyler
like.
Hero there down the.
Yeah, they should be going to.
But it's Oklahoma City. They're all boring. They all organize the fucking trip to Sandals.
Yeah, they're doing an all-inclusive trip. Meek.
Crazy. Phil, your picks.
I'm on the Pittsburgh Pirates at minus 109 because it's Wednesday. Pirates on Wednesdays are 10-1, I believe.
All right.
And one more bet. I'm taking Ketel Marte home run plus 380. The fan that said what he said about his mother last night should be banned from every ballpark.
Jail.
So that's confirmed that
Ketel,
happened?
yes,
About
it's confirmed.
this. Yeah.
Ketel Marte should be allowed to swing his bat at that guy's
Yeah.
skull as many times as he wants.
I will say fan culture has gotten so bad. Where it's like,
what a crazy
you're an
fucking thing to
asshole.
say to somebody.
First of all, bring anyone's actual family into.
You think he knew?
As a fan,
You definitely
you can 100%. As a fan, you can say whatever you want about the play of the player on the court, on the field. Fair game.
Yes.
Anything else is so you have to be a complete asshole to go to the field, look up something about them and about their family and go after, especially someone who passed away. What a piece of shit you are. I couldn't believe it was true. I didn't know they confirmed it was true.
The manager confirmed it too.
Like they heard it, like
Yeah.
it was
The
a
manager
bad or
turned
something.
around Torrey or Lavelle turned around and toss him.
And the White Sox will have a video, a message on the scoreboard today for him.
Yeah.
They should have been allowed to go beat the living piss out.
I also hate guys who go to sports games looking to get into a fight.
because what is it? Every time I give you a prompt, your own
culture.
prompt. There you go. Gotcha culture. Because that
Remember
guy was probably.
remember that guy at the Final Four?
Yes, dude.
Ran in the face of a little kid.
Yes, it's just like they want to go viral. They want to be like, look at me, I'm being funny, and like, I got to rise out of this player. It's like, bro, I know we say this, they're people too, but like, be respectful. You could say go fuck yourself if you want, but
And I'm sure like this is probably like. It's probably been said from the crowd before, but a night like last, there was probably like 2,000 people in the crowd. Like you probably could clearly
hear it
hear.
easily, yeah.
Like you hear it so much easier. And that's probably like what got him too. And the fact that you heard it that clearly.
yeah.
I also think there's something too, like, you can learn, like, knowledgeable fans are okay to sit next to. You know what I mean? Like, or you sit next to a guy and it's like
Nothing worse than
like
that
they
guy.
what?
There's nothing worse than the guy that's screaming at the players the whole game. You're the knowledgeable fan is
Right, yeah, you sit next to a guy, you go to a Giants-Chiefs game and two Chiefs fans sit next to you. And you're like, your Giants get up and you're like, the Giants fan said, I'm a little worried, like we don't play well with the lead. And Chiefs guy's like, nah, we've packed it in the last couple of times. Like, watch the body language on this guy. Like, just calm shit, guys talking sports. Like, I don't have a problem with that.
Playful
or even
stuff is
funny
fine.
digs. Yeah, I was at the Jimmy V like 10 years ago, and the two UConn fans come in. And it was back, before I quit Duke. I was like, hey, you guys, I was like, just let's not have a 99 episode again tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, what? When we shocked the world?" Like, I'm like, Lev, because that's what Khalid El-Amin said. Like, that's okay.
There's nothing
Go
like
to a
that
game,
anymore.
try to get into a fucking fight. Like, you're an asshole.
That's all people want to do is
it's
just
crazy.
like be an asshole. It's
So-
crazy.
Meek, do you have any quick comments on cutting Kenjack?
Yeah,
I
want
mean-
to. Can you break down the process real fast?
Breaking down the process, I coached my first practice on Monday, and I noticed Ken Jack was not there. And then I found out he was not to practice previous to that. So the two practices that were filmed for this documentary, he was not present. And I thought it'd be a good decision to cut him from the team. So I talked to Dave about it. Dave asked,
So did you text Dave?
yes.
And you
I called
said,
Dave.
You called Dave.
Called Dave.
Text or
Wow.
call first.
Was
called
this
him.
filmed at all?
Yes.
Okay.
I called Dave.
You called him and you said,
And I said, I think we should cut Ken Jack from the team because he missed both practices. And then Dave asked, how many guys do we have? And I said, well, it's 7 without Ken Jack. And he said, I cut him. So,
so you have coach's ear.
yeah, we can win with 7. I'd
Because
rather have 7
I
guys
think
that
we
want
could
to be
believe
there.
with 7. Listen, I will die with whatever my coach says
Yeah.
and Coach Meek.
40 minutes.
Listen, I said I'd rather quit the company than tell everyone I have an anal fissure. And that's what Ken Jack did yesterday. He made a graphic for it.
Was that real?
Yes,
Oh, I thought he was kidding when he
not
said
kidding.
What does that necessarily mean? You know what? We'll do it.
The best ability is availability.
Listen, it's coming up. July is
July
next
28th.
week.
Yeah.
July is
that.
next week.
I had a nightmare about it.
Oh my God, I did 2
I
yesterday.
had the wrong date.
We
My
lost.
buddies were like near Berlin, Connecticut, and I was like, "Yo, I'm not gonna be able to go back to the city and be there." And they dropped me off, and then I just had the wrong date, and I was just.
I had a dream we lost yesterday.
I didn't have the game didn't happen for me.
We're gonna win. I feel good about it.
I got the keys to a gym.
One more update on the White Sox.
Really? You have the keys to the gym? You can go whenever?
Larry Bird, Chris Mullen shit.
Like, can you invite anyone there?
I think if it gets closer, yeah, late night we can.
Yeah, late
sure,
night.
I'll make some calls.
We have the
Just to let I mean, they were like, you got the keys, but yeah, you start bringing in, lunatics. Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna want to know.
No air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
Okay, maybe I
Get
won't.
better.
Yeah, we'll let him do that.
Yeah, hey, Luke Kennard's gonna help me. I think that's a good one. A good shot guy that I can help.
One more update on the White Sox fan. Liam, can you show it?
Latest update to the story: league statement commends the White Sox for immediate action, and the fan has been banned indefinitely from all ballparks.
How do they enforce that?
Facial recognition.
Facial recognition. And then there's this one reply that I thought that was funny.
His punishment should have been having to watch the White Sox play. That is funny. Do they don't know who that is, right?
His name is not public.
Good.
It should be public.
It should
For
be
now.
public. Luckily for him, I don't know. I feel like they would have been. People are usually right on that, but the fact that there was no one there, no one's videotaping the White.
There was a. You saw who it is though.
Oh, you do.
Video, and you could see the guy.
Oh, it's gonna come out then.
All right, that is Pick Central. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Later.
Oh, let me get the music going.
Get the-
This